Oh, brother, what do we got going on here? Looks like we're in for some cleaning. Got a bristle brush there, toothbrush, even got a wire brush. Sponge with the scouring pad on the other side, my simple green clear water. What's the deal, yo? Well, the deal is I'm getting ready to paint these white door frames. I've already got the doors all painted. Yeah, they turned out really good too. Look at that. And I've got that on a couple of my different episodes. Okay, show you how to paint these. I did them myself. Looks like a professional did them, doesn't it? And these are happen to be smooth face, smooth hair. Sometimes you get the ripply fake white doors. Those are easier to paint than these because these are so smooth. It's harder to hide the imperfections. Okay, I did it with a paintbrush and with a 4-inch mini roller. Believe it or not. And I show you all kinds of stuff on there. I've got that on several episodes well before this one. Okay, watch those. You might want to watch from the beginning if you're interested in knowing how to renovate a condo such as this. And so I'm getting ready to repaint these, and before I do that, obviously I want to clean these. And if you have white doors and white door frames, I'll bet you if you go around and you look by the hinges, you're going to see some black marks. And on your side of your door stop, you're going to see black marks. You're going to see those black marks, and you're going to be like, what is going on with that? Around every single door, you will see it. It's from the hinges, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then they spray out little dirt, kind of like graphite stuff, just the metal, just the grease and stuff that gets on there. And you'll see it everywhere, okay? On any white door, okay? You're gonna see it. And usually on your doors, you're gonna see, if it comes close to this, you're gonna see it on this edge, or this is gonna spray, and eventually you're gonna have black over here. You gotta get, and you'll have it down on this edge. You gotta get that clean before you start painting your doors. And of course, I cleaned all my doors, I sanded my doors, I wiped all the doors off, and I'm gonna have to clean the same thing. I'm gonna have to clean these door frames, and then I'm gonna lightly sand them, wipe them down before I paint them. It's all in an order. And you know, if you leave the doors in place, you're never going to be able to get all of this because your hinge comes out. It's always best to take all your hardware off, all your doorknobs off, like I did over here, okay? And it just so happens we're going to be installing a different colored hinges, nickel finished hinges or brushed chrome hinges, and the same color doorknobs, door handles, as opposed to the gold ones that were on there like this. I'm going to end up taking these off. Okay, but this is the garage, so I left this on. I'm choosing to paint this door in place, but I'll take the handles off, and I'll have to cut in around this. But I'm going to change this, so if I get any paint on this, I'm not really going to mind that. Okay, that way it doesn't get too cold in here. It's middle of winter. We get down to 20 degrees at night. And last thing I want is to take this door off and leave it off for 3 or 4 days to cure for the paint and stuff before I put the new hinges on and put it back on. So I think I'm gonna paint that one in place. But enough of that. I gotta get all of these clean. And you know, this floor, I'm going to be ending up taking the floor out. So I don't care if any of my residue, let's see, it's kind of hard to see this on the video. I think you'll see it, but you know, if it runs down on the floor, it's fine. I'll wipe it up. But if you have carpet, if you have beige carpet, white carpet, see in here, initially we were thinking about leaving all the carpet. Well, we decided to take it out. It was a nice carpet, you know, but all the hinge locations and stuff upstairs. If we would have saved this carpet, then you have to be really careful because you don't want that black grease to run down your door jamb and start spitting and dropping on your white carpets, on your tan carpets, your beige carpets, and that kind of stuff. You got to be a little bit more careful, but we don't have to be as careful here because we took everything out. Okay, and so the first thing I'm going to do when I go around here is I'm just going to concentrate around the hinges and just below it, you know, and try to get off as much of that stuff as I can, because the paint does not like that junk. Okay, and so I can kind of let that set on there. Sometimes simple green, if it doesn't take all the stuff off and you think, I knew that wasn't going to work. I don't know how VideoJoe always gets his stuff so clean. But I can let that sit on there while I work on another hinge. Okay, then I can go back up there and work on it a little bit more. And I'm just trying to spray the simple green on my sponge first instead of I mean, I could spray it like that, but then it runs down. And if it's not getting everything, I can use my brush, my steel brush, you know, maybe the tip. Ooh, that came off nice there. See, and if I waited just a hair longer, the simple green would probably take it off. But see, that's way better than had I just been using that. So that's why I got different things. The bristle brush would have worked too, probably, you know, but I wouldn't have been able to get it in there too well. That worked out really good. I'm liking that. I like to, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to try to do it to the best of my ability. You know what I mean? How much longer did it take to use the little metal brush on there? See, it's been on there just for a couple, well, just an extra minute, but not all of it's coming off. I'm just going to use that back side and see if I can't just get just a hair more of that off. I don't know what that little mark is over there. That's not coming off. Okay. And wipe it off. That's how I want my doors before I clean all of them. Then I'll take my my simple green when I get done with the hinges, and I'll take the simple green to it and wipe off the smudges and the dirt marks and dust and all of that kind of thing on everywhere else. You know what I mean? Before I sand it. I don't want to sand it with this stuff with dirt on there and dust and stuff like that, because you don't get a good job sanding as you would. You cleaned it first. Okay? So I'm just gonna see what I can do. I'm not going to get too carried away with it. Whatever's left is left. And if there's still some marks, that's just discoloration of the paint coming off. They probably only have one coat of paint on there or something. But, you know, what I could do when I get done with all of these door frames and wiping them off and sanding them and then wiping them off again, I can look at them, and if I've got discoloration marks in certain areas, see this like right in there, I'll just take some Kills primer and I can dab it on there. And anywhere I see imperfections, before I take my finish paint, I just put some Kills on there first. Okay. And this one here, I had to adjust the doors. I adjusted all the doors make sure none of them were sagging. If they were sagging, I fixed the sags. This one was warped a little bit, and the door installers years ago, they adjusted the door stop to fit the door. I don't know why they did that, because at the bottom you can see where the door stop used to be, way over here. And this door, the bottom of the door was sticking out, was almost flush with the outside trim, was sticking out about 5/16, and on the inside, look, you can see where this door stop was. It was way over. So as the door closed up here, the door was inset about 5/16 up here, and it was setting out about 5/16 at the bottom, like the door was going like that. And they just left it. So I thought, I can't have that. So I spent the extra time, took out my nice stiff putty knife. I removed the door stop. I was able to save that same door stop, save the nails, and cleaned all the caulking off it, repositioned that, figured out where I wanted it. Had to do that for the head rail too, as opposed to the side as well. And then once I figured everything out, then I took the door down, because I don't want to have to start adjusting things or find this out after I paint the doors, right? There's a tip for you, by the way. Okay, so now I can because of that, I just haven't caulked this yet. Okay, and that'll be one of the things I do before I paint, and then I'll have to fill up nail holes wherever I see nail holes that I put in. I have to fill those up, and I'll check all the other areas, see if any little areas need to be scraped off, or if there's anything else that needs to be filled. Here's a puckered nail. I'll put my putty knife over that, and I'll tap that with my hammer. Get that gone. And I'll do it once over before I get into painting these. And like I say, before I paint them, then I'll do the kills wherever I need to do the kills. After I sand them, first I clean them, then I wipe them down, then I sand them. And I'll have that on a different episode, you know. And then I'll wipe those down, and then I'll put kills on it. Then I get into the finished paint. Okay, and as for that, I'm going to be painting the walls first with my roller, and then I'm going to get up as close as I can, and I'm not going to cut the wall in. I'm just going to stop it right in here. Okay, after I do all the walls, first I'm going to do the ceilings. Then after that, I'm going to do the walls, and I'll get close, and I'll get close, and I'll get close. Okay, then I'm going to paint the door frames, the casings, the door casings, the door frames, and the baseboard. Okay, as I paint the walls, I'm just gonna come down as low as I can. If I happen to tag the baseboard once or twice, okay, that's okay. I want to be repainting it, or I can take a rag and wipe off some of it. And I know I'm going to be painting the baseboard after I get done with the walls. Okay, that way I can when I'm painting this, and I'm not a professional painter, but I get pretty good, and you're not a professional painter either, are you? If you are, you wouldn't be watching this video, I don't think. In any case, when I paint this, I'm going to cut this in the best I can, but if I get some of the white paint on the wall, that's okay. I can get a little bit of white paint here and there. I don't care about that, do I? Because it'll be nice and easy to cut this in. And then when I get done painting the door frames, then I'm going to go down and paint on the baseboard. And as I cut in the top edge of the baseboard with my white paint, I don't care if just a little bit of that white paint gets on the wall, do I? Because I still have to cut in that little section of the wall. When I get done with all the baseboard, all the door frames and trim, then I'm going to go back around and cut in the wall down to the nicely painted top edge of the baseboard. I'm going to cut in the wall to the nicely painted door trim casing. It's easier to cut this wall in to the white paint than it is to have to cut this in first of the wall and then try to cut in your white paint to your wall color. You know what I mean? That's just how I do it. It's way easier for me. And then if I get just a little bit of paint for my flat paint or my wall color paint on the edge here once or twice. Okay, I'll have to make note of that, and then I'll have to come back after this paint's dry and then touch up wherever I have to. Hopefully it's not very many places at all, okay? All right, so that's one more thing I'm gonna have to do before I start painting. Well, that's all I have for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.